All right, what's going on, everybody? We are here at the podcast stage at 2025 Atlanta Black Expo, man. I appreciate everybody for coming out and listening to us. Man, I'm here with, first of all, I've been blessed to even be able to come and be on this stage and talk to SMBs and organizations and people who have really trailblazed their field and learned. And one thing that I'm also very pleased at is I have people in my network and in my cipher that I can go and get information and get guidance from whenever I need it. I want to introduce everybody to a good friend of mine that I consider, a brother and family, and has always led me in the right direction, and he checked me when I need to be checked, like, hey, listen. But I want everybody to, I want to introduce everybody to Mr. CLIVE Morrison. How you doing, King?
What's going on? Peace.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so my name is CLIVE Morrison. My main company, CMJ Business Solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And so CMJ Business Solutions, we run businesses, we help people put systems in, scale their business, and actually get things done.
Absolutely, man, and listen, and you're right, that's exactly what you do. I can remember having conversations with you, and it started off as, what time you getting up in the morning? You remember that guy's like, what time you getting up in the morning? Like, Clive would be like, we getting, what time you wake up? I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning. I said, I go to sleep sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning, but waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But what I realized is what you were showing me was regimen. You were showing me that putting a process that's duplicatable that I can rely on, and having a run of day that I can extract the things out of it that's going to move me forward to where I want to be. And the one question you always ask me is like, what is it that you do? And that's a very difficult answer, question to answer whenever you really have not thought about exactly what it is that you do. Like, we could think about what we want to do, but what are we actually doing day to day in order to make that thing happen? So I hit you up and was like, hey, listen, man, you're important. I think that you're somebody that the people would, need to hear from. And, I want to talk to you a little bit about the execution formula for Black entrepreneurs. We're here at the Atlanta Black Expo, and we are in the Georgia World Congress Center, packed full of Black excellence, packed full of Black business owners. And I know you've been walking around here all day talking to people.
Yeah, connected.
And you're pretty much the foundation of the underbelly of what it is to even get to the space where they're at this moment. And then on top of that, it's like, if you want to expand beyond it, what does that look like? So tell me a little bit about what made you come up with, the execution formula for Black entrepreneurs, and how you see it as something that we needed on a community level and a business level.
So, working as a business owner myself, working through strategies, building out systems, connecting with people,
mm-hmm.
and myself first is that all the strategies are out here,
mm-hmm.
right? There's so many, we got YouTube now, we got the internet, everybody's out here, so you can learn the strategies. But are those strategies particular to yourself? Right, that's number one. So let's say you get the right strategy, right? Now the next part that we see is, do you have a process for executing that strategy? What does that look like day to day, executing that strategy? And then the last part, do you have somebody holding you accountable? Do you hold yourself accountable to execute? Now, the reason why we came up with the execution formula, right? You can do it yourself, but we always tell you it's better to do it with somebody else. That's why we came with this, is because a lot of times we lie to ourselves.
Okay.
I didn't send out that project because I had something else to do, or something's more important, or I didn't get to it, right? Or we start working on things that don't really matter,
mm-hmm.
right? So, and we can tell ourselves like it's being effective in our business, but it's not. And if you don't have somebody else to look at that, and it's somebody who's a business peer who can actually tell you like, well, let's review your strategy, let's look at what's going on, then the execution, because everybody knows what they have to do. I talk to everybody, they're like, yeah, I know, I just got to make more sales, I got to talk to more people. And I'm like, why are you not doing it? Oh, I have to fix my website, and this is wrong, and they have 100 excuses. But that's why we say, hey, execution, not excuses.
And that brings a lot of things up to mind. Just in those points that you spoke about just now, I heard accountability. And not only just being honest and truthful with yourself, but also being able to be accountable to somebody else that can hold you to your word and what you say. Very important. Do you think that majority of people, when they imagine creating a business for whatever reason, why they want to create that business, what do you think the average person actually looks at business as being a psychology? This is something that you got to wrap your mind around and look at it. This is a transition of mindset. Because one thing you do talk about is, coming out of that hustler mentality and into that CEO mentality. Talk to me a little bit about the differences between that hustler mentality and that CEO mentality, which obviously that CEO mentality is going to encompass some of the things that you just spoke about.
So a lot of times we get into business because we saw something that we could sell, right? Oh, I'm either good at something or I saw something that could sell, right? Like, I could sell this perfume, I could sell this fragrance, or I can actually, I'm good at psychology, or I'm a good doctor, or I'm a good massage therapist. And so we start doing these things, and when we start doing them, we're good at them. We get good because that's how you get traction. People like it, so you're like, oh, I just got to find the next customer, and then you're running back between getting customers and delivering services. So you're having a problem where it's like, oh, I'm trying to deliver services, and I'm trying to connect with customers. So you're always having that. So you're always hustling because you're like, where's my next customer coming from? And then you have, oh, I got too many clients. So that's the hustler mentality. Oh, I ran out of product. Now I got to go get more product. I got a whole bunch of product. How do I get off that product? And that's the hustler that you're going in the imbalance that goes on, right? So being able to understand, how do I get out of that mindset and how do I shift? So we start businesses for those reasons most of the time. Most people don't start a business with, well, I have a business plan and I know all the numbers, I know the KPIs, I've done market research. People don't start business like that. Most people do not start businesses like that. So they get trapped into the hustler situation, or they were good at something, somebody gave them some money for it, they found out it could become a business, and it became a business. So that's why they have to get into the part of switching that mindset and going to becoming a CEO, which is a whole other traits of delegation that they have to get to.
So this hustler mindset that, we all know very well, especially if you're coming from a background where it's, you make $1 out of 15 cents, you figure it out.
Yep.
I got to eat today. So looking at KPIs and doing, demographic research and building out business plans and business models, that's not something that I know I didn't grow up learning. I just grew up, figure it out, make a way, and then ask the people that I've seen who seem like they did it well because they actually are showing something tangible like material. I don't know if it's debt driven or not, but follow that. So how do you see we get ourselves into education? Like really learning, taking the time to say, let me educate myself and learn about exactly how business works, how it operates, understanding what lane I need to be in, what tools I need in order to make sure that I can succeed in this space, and then what type of people I need to be around to help me guide me through it. Like, talk to me a little bit about education and how important that is in terms of becoming an entrepreneur and a business owner.
So it's education, application, review, right? So you need to learn.
Hold on, repeat that again.
Education, application, review.
Okay.
So because you need to learn the strategy, right?
Right.
You learn it, you apply it, and you see if it works.
Okay.
Right? That's going to measure numbers. Now, think about this, right? If you're a basketball player, right? We're just taking sports, and that's why they have coaches on the sideline. That's why but not just coach on the sideline, but during practice,
yes,
right? That you're practicing, you go over the same drill over and over. We measure things. What's your shooting percentage, right? How many times do you hit the receiver down the field, right? Are you 8 for 10? And that's because if you didn't need a coach, right, they would just watch videos all day.
Right.
Right? They wouldn't. They were like, yo, I watch Magic Johnson play and I see how to do it and I go out here, right? But we cannot. Even a coach needs a coach, because you don't see your blind spots. And a lot of times we think that we've learned the video, we watched it one time or twice, and now we can do it, and we're doing it. And the thing is that what you were saying earlier, a lot of people have success with just being a one-man operation. They can get to 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, just being one man. But guess what? Everything's on you.
Yes.
You have to do everything. You have a bunch of gophers who can't make one move without you saying, hey, do this, do that, and then you have to review it, look at it, and then you're like, nobody wants to work, and I can't get anybody.
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable, because no matter how much money you have, if you still have to make everything happen and make every decision, you come with decision fatigue, and you have to do everything, and you'll burn out from that.
Decision fatigue. So, man, that's huge. That's the first time I've ever heard of that, decision fatigue. So, can you give me any tips and tools and strategy for delegation? Like, what are some best practices for delegating? And then how might I need to look at vetting people out if I want to delegate some of those things so that way I don't get decision fatigue?
So a lot of times in your business, you're at 3 levels of delegation, right?
Okay.
So you got to tell people how to do it, right? Like you're brand new, I'm teaching you. You come into McDonald's, I have to teach you step by step how to do it, right? I have to say, hey, this is how you make a burger. This is how you make fries, right? If you come into my business, this is how you answer the phone. I have to tell you how to do it step by step.
But I got to know what I'm doing first before I can tell somebody else.
Yeah, so I have to document that, right? That's why. So the less skilled the person is, the more documentation you need.
Repeat that.
The less skilled the person is, the more documentation you need. The other way around, the more skilled somebody is, the less documentation you need. The next part is, what do you need to do, right? So if I'm doing the next level of delegation, is I just say, hey, build that website out, and I'm going to review it, right? That's so I tell you what to do. I don't give you any instructions. You do it, you bring it back to me, and I say, oh, that looks good. You need to tweak that. You need to tweak this, and that's the next level, right? I just tell you what to do, and then you do it. The last level is, I just give you ownership. I say, yo, build me the website. When you bring it back to me, I don't even know if my eye is not trained. So I'm like, I don't know if that looks good or not, but you're the one that knows what's going on. So I'm gonna go with what you say, right? That's total ownership of it, where you're delegating to people who are smarter than you. And we can't be the smartest person in our business at all times. That's where you get to the highest level, where you hire people who are better than you, right? Who make decisions that you may not totally understand, but because of their level of expertise and what they know, you go with it.
Man, that's huge, because if you say, that third level of delegation and hiring people that are better than you, that also requires a bit of trust.
Yes.
And that also requires knowing that the person that we're giving ownership to take care of this aspect, this part of our child, so to speak, that they're going to take care of it the same way that we would take care if we had their level of expertise.
Yes.
Man, that's hard.
That is hard. That comes with a track record. That comes with people proving themselves. So that's why your hiring process up front has to be very rigid, because you have to know what you want. This takes time for you to say. It's like getting married, finding the woman of your dreams, finding the partner of your dreams. Who do I want? What do I want?
Right.
What does that look like, right? And as it goes through, it's like, you wouldn't just say, we're going to get married today, because even though I set the criteria, I still have to learn your habits, your day-to-day habits. Are we compatible to work with each other? Because energy is a real thing. You could be amazing. You could build the best websites. You could be a great website developer, but I don't like working with you. Right? So all of these things are something that you have to look at when we deal with business. It's not just, can they do the job? Do they fit the culture? Are they somebody that we want in here? Is they somebody that's part of the team? Do they work well with others? These are all things that you have to define before you even start with it.
Man, and you know what, Clive? It's like, you saying that also has me thinking about our own personal behaviors, and how our own personal behaviors could really be the thing that's sabotaging our business, because we would rather hold on to personal behaviors that are not in alignment with what the business needs to grow and expand and scale and be sustainable. And if we're holding on to those behavior patterns, that hustle mentality behavior patterns, and our business is not growing like we need it to grow, that could be the reason why. And then maybe potentially we're pointing the finger at everybody else saying, oh, my business is not successful because of this, that, and the third. But really, it's some personal development that we need to work on, so that way we can at least expand ourselves, become more humble, so that we can allow people to teach us that know better than us. And or even on top of that, be able to sit down and do the research, so we can find out what level of delegation that we need to set ourselves in, depending on what our project needs. So yeah, that's really important. Talk to me a little bit about how you as an entrepreneur, like how you even got to the place of knowing that you need to put these processes, and then even providing those processes for not only for your group, because I'm a part of your group, so this brother do this for real. Like every week we get together and we hold each other accountable, and he breaks down these gems, and he makes sure that we have these breadcrumbs so that way we can get to where we want to go. So what got you to that space where you said, you know what, let me start, taking what I've learned and making sure that the people in the community, have these things as well? So
I've been in a lot of coaching programs, right? And I started seeing the effects of coaching, because every time my mindset shifted, my thoughts shifted, right? The way I was like, yo, I said, they do business like this? Or there's people really delegating? They got people that run it like this. You bring in somebody smarter than you, and oh, this is my limitation. Oh, I'm the leader, so everything falls back on me. I had to learn all these things, right? So there's a thing in John Maxwell. He has a book about leadership, right? 21 Laws of Leadership.
Right.
And the first one is the law of the lid, right? Your business can only go as high as you go. You're the leader. The business is going to stop wherever your leadership stops, wherever your personal responsibility stops, wherever your skill set stops. That's where your leadership skills, not your personal skills, your leadership skills. The business, because you can get to 10 million by yourself because you're hustling. But we're talking about leadership where you have other people and you're running an actual business where you can go take a 30-day vacation and the business loses no money because other people are executing the work and you're actually providing jobs. Right? So we did this having processes. I want to always thank my mom because she, with all my mistakes that I made, all the money I put into it, where she was like, she didn't know what was going on. She was like, I don't know what he's doing, but you know, so I always have to thank her for that because she trusted me, and I tell her all the time, it's because my mom, it's because she's my mom, I ain't get fired. You know what I'm saying? Right? I made mistakes. If I made them in another company, I'd have got fired, right? So that was a blessing. But I know that coaching is needed. I know that coaching is something that we have to have. So I have a coach, you know what I'm saying, to make sure. But I know that in our community, we don't have people looking like us. And we don't have people that are two things, is that we have to be trying to get money, but we have to use that money to make an impact.
Yes.
And that's my quest. It's not just to make money. So I'm not just a person like, oh, let's make a lot of money. How do we use that money to make an impact?
Yes. Yeah, that's the model, the Black Man Business Warrior. It's like, how do we make an impact? Brother, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
And I know you're going to hit it out the park. How have you implemented AI into your workflow?
Oh man, that is a great question. So into my workflow, there's many processes that they do. I'm gonna give them one. One is the use of chatbots, right?
Okay.
Inside of building out your GPTs, I should say.
Okay, rock with me, let's go.
So inside of ChatGPT, you can do it in Claude, they have projects, everything like that.
Yes.
So what we do is instead of just asking AI, I go find out YouTube, right?
Yes.
And I find a lot of videos. So let's take our LinkedIn strategy.
Okay.
So I find all these videos about LinkedIn, and then I go find all the prompts. What are the framework prompts? What are the story prompts, carousel, right? What helps me? But I get them from a real person who's doing this.
Right.
I take their prompts, use AI, put it in there, take their video, dissect it, and say, hey, make this prompt for me, and then I take it into a GPT. And then I also connect it with my personal GPT, which has all my information about my business.
Yes.
And then I use that prompt inside of the GPT in my business. So when it comes out, it's making the carousel prompt, the carousel post based on what my business is about.
Absolutely. See, that is called streamlining your workflow.
Yes.
That's called taking 2 points that at one point in time was a mile in between.
Yes.
And making it inches. Brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming out and talking to us. I'm definitely going to listen. He's definitely going to be teaching a class with amplified intelligence on workflow, AI workflow. He's part of the squad, whether he like it or not. I'm dragging him out the crib. I'm dragging him out, but I got to, as long as he go to bed.
I'm outside because of him. I don't have to come outside. He know I'm outside because of him,
because
right?
of me, so I'm gonna drag him out.
I got you.
How can we find you, man? How can we get connected with Clive Morrison?
All right, so YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, The Black Businessman. That's my thing. So you can just find me on, like I said, Black Businessman _ on Instagram, The Black Businessman on YouTube, and we're just talking about business. Like I tell people all the time. All the strategies are there. I'm gonna be talking about everything that I know about business, right? Everything I know, so I'm gonna have them on YouTube. But the real thing is, if you don't come and see us about execution, which we talk about our execution labs, where you come in every day, I hold you accountable for your 5 minutes, and then you do what you're supposed to do, and then you give us a form so we can have that every week. We're making sure that you execute on the thing that's most important. If you're not doing that, if you're not having it, you can make a Google form, you can just have a sheet, you can write it down, but hold yourself accountable, or better yet, get a friend to hold each other accountable, and just say, hey, what do we need to work on so that we make sure we're working on things that move the business along and the big rocks in our business that make our business grow to the next level.
I say, hey, website?
The Black Businessman.
The Black Businessman. Listen, you guys heard it here. Man, thank you for Mr. Clive Morrison coming through.
Appreciate
the Black Businessman. We are here at Atlanta Black Expo 2025 at the Georgia World Congress Center. Brother, again, I appreciate you. I know the people got fed a bunch. Make sure that you connect with them so they can find out how to get in contact with you. Hey, you guys take it easy. We will see you next time.
Stay focused, stay blessed, man. Peace.